Hi y'all, I'm Jordan Ashby. I'm a local artist in Kingwood, and I have loved art since I was a kid. I took tons of drawing lessons. In high school I took every art class I could. I loved our sculpture class where I learned to do paper mache sculptures and mural painting. And then I've gotten into watercolors, and then in college I majored in painting at Savannah College of Art and Design. And so art is just still a part of my everyday life. I'm teaching a watercolor painting class, painting flowers. And so let's get started. I'll show you the supplies you'll need. Alright, for painting watercolor flowers, here are the supplies you'll need. We will start with just simple watercolor paper. Doesn't matter what size. You'll need some fine paintbrushes and a thicker brush. You'll need a little cup of water, not much, and you'll need some solid watercolors. I have 2 trays, and then you'll need what you're going to paint. So I've chosen today some zinnia flowers for my garden, and I have them real close so that I can see each petal and detail. And so now we can begin. Alright, to start, we want to think about our flower, and a flower is holding onto a stem, so we're going to start with a stem. We'll dip our fine brush into our water, and you'll just pick a green that you want to start with. I've picked this one. You'll just go with whatever colors you have and what your stem looks like. So I've got paint on my brush. I'm going to touch down to the paper and pull down. So it got a little kind of crunchy looking, so I'm just going to get more water and pull that color down. And more water. And keep pulling it. And then I'm going to come back up to the top and get some more. I'll come all the way down to the end. Then, because it's not just one color, I'm going to dip into a different color green and add that to my stem just to give it some depth and try to make it look even more real. So again, I'll get a little more water to spread it and blend it together. I'm going to dip in water and back into my color again. And I'm coming on this right edge. I'm going to stay over here so it's only on one side of my stem. And just pulling down. I see a little spot right here, so I'm going to bring water back to smooth it out. I'm going to get one more darker green just to go on that last edge. And then we'll start our flower. So I'm going to come to the right edge of my stem, and I'm pulling down. A little bit more of the darkest green. Pull down. Okay. Now we'll start with our flower. So you can just pick something from your garden, or when you go out on a walk, just notice what's around you. I've got a pink zinnia today. So we're going to start with the background petals. So all this outer ring, and we want to start with these ones at the back first, and then we're going to build upon it. So I'm going to pick a pink. I'll pick this one. And I'm just looking real close at each petal. And I'm going to start and go in a big circle. And when my paint looks like that, I'm going to grab water so I can blend it in. And again, pull down into the center. More water, more paint, and on to the next petal. Some of mine are rounded. Some of mine kind of look like a heart at the top. Pull down. I'm gonna get a little more water. Pull it. Not every petal is the same. They're not all even. So I'm gonna go a little bit taller on this one. Just making my way around the circle. And we see there's space in between the petals, so it's okay to leave some. So I'm sticking with this one color pink for now, and we'll add in darker colors as we go. Just making my way around the circle. Pull my color down. Some more water, and I'm going to come over our stem because it naturally does anyways. And some more. Okay, some more water. And keep going. We're almost around the circle. Okay. More water and pull. You can always go back with your water. That's kind of the beauty of watercolors, is blending and pulling and adding to it as you go. So just relax into it and look at the beauty in front of you. It feels good to slow down. We're always going so fast, and to think about one little flower in front of you. Pull down, and we've almost got our full circle. I'll do one more. Pull. I'm gonna get some water because that got a little wonky. Okay. Pull down a little bit on some of these. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it just so you can see. Now we have our full background circle of petals. Alright, so we'll move on now to the inner petals. So I'm actually gonna dip my fine brush in the water again, and I'm gonna go to a lighter pink. And towards the end we'll come back with some darker detail colors. But to go with our inner petals, I've gone to this lighter pink. So they're smaller. So we're just gonna come into this inner part and pull, just like we did. Dab the pink color, make your petal shape, pull it in. So I'm gonna add some here. And the same way, just make your way around the circle and keep looking at your flower to see kind of where they go. It's not perfect, it's a wild flower. So that's kind of what's fun about watercolors. They're super approachable. It's an easy material to get your hands on, and it doesn't make a lot of mess. It's super easy to work with. You just need paint, pen, and water. So that's kind of what led me to try it out and play with them. So here is the completed inner ring of the petals. And now we'll move on to the center cone part. So as I look at my flower, I'm seeing brown, red, and yellow. So I'll dip, again working with our fine brush, dip into my water. I'm getting rid of the pink I had on there because now we're moving to brown. So, or this is kind of a maroon, but that'll work great too. Okay, so it's kind of spiky, so I'm just gonna start here and make little marks as I make my center, and just like we did on the outside, we're just gonna build on it. So we'll start with an outer ring for the middle and move inward each time. Okay, so that was like a maroon. Now I'm gonna try this. Get a little of this. And pull in. Get some more water. I'm turning my brush as I go so that I'm pulling towards the middle. Okay, I'll wash that off. Now I'm gonna grab some yellow. Okay. And you might not think it'll show up, but it does. And that's how the flower is. It just, all these colors coming together here in the middle. I'm gonna make a few marks on the outside with the yellow just to make it look more real. Okay. Alright, now we're going to add some little darker details just so we can see. Like I said, we can't see that light pink so well. So we're going to come back in. In fact, I'm going to switch to a bit of a finer brush. So I like that maroon color. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever colors you have in your tray, they don't need to match mine. So I'm going to come in. First I'm going to work on the back petals. I'm just going to come to the little edge and pull. And you don't have to do it to every petal, but to some. Sometimes you might want to go in the middle. You might want to go on an outer edge. Pull in to the middle. So we'll make a mark in the middle, because that one's sort of like a heart. Okay, that one didn't work so much, so I brought some water to it to blend in. Okay, we'll get a bit more. And it really gives depth to the petals. I could even go all the way to the middle on that one, if I wanted to. Okay. That's a lot. So I'm going to go back to my water because that got a little heavy. So I'm going to lighten that up. And that's the beautiful thing, is you just get some more water, spread it out. I can even go up to the next petal and use that paint up, so it's not just sitting there. Okay, to my edges, almost around the circle. A little more paint. Okay, again, that's a little heavy, so I'm gonna get more water and pull it down. Kind of spread that out so it's not so heavy. And I see I don't like it over here, so I'm gonna use that water on my brush already and pull that around. So now we're gonna do the same with the inner petals, and I'm gonna go back to that kind of brownish color, so then we can make them stand out more. Okay, so I'm going to my light pink petals and pulling to the middle, just making little marks here and there. This will help us know that these come in front of the back petals. It makes them stand out and shows us kind of the order of the flower. So I'm bringing it around and to the middle. Okay, that one went off, so I just get my water, pull it around, and back up. So it's so easy to work with, and you can't mess up, and that feels good with watercolors. You just have fun, and the water is your friend. It helps. It's very forgiving, I'll say. Okay, See, again, that got heavy, so I'm going to use all that color I just put to bring to the petal beside it. So I'm going to pick it up, bring it over to this petal. So see how I'm going to pull down. I'll even bring it over here to this one. Okay. Then I'm going to touch back to my bright pink and just come in with a few more strokes. Where I got a little bit heavy with the brown. Okay, then I'm going to come to the color we started with, our deeper pink. I'm just going to add a few little marks just for a little more detail. And you can even leave space in between it. And I'm making these real watery. Just adds character and detail to it. I'm kind of running out, so I'm going back to it. And a little bit here. And back around, going around the circle. So then it feels whole. Okay, almost there. That's a little heavy, so I'm gonna just get water. Come around there. I might make a few marks at the tops of some petals. Okay, so we'll stop there with the ring of the flower, and I'm going to come back, and our last step would be to add, I'm going to just do one leaf. You could do many if you wanted, but I'm going to start. So I've cleared my brush of the pinks I had on there, and that's a neat thing too. I don't even have a napkin. I don't have to go wash this out. You literally just dab it in your water. I'm going to start with our bright green. I'm going to make mine high up. So I'm going to start, my leaf has a point at the top, so I'm starting with my point, pull out, and you see it got real divided. So I just need to get more and more water. So I'll go back to my point again and pull down to the other side. And now to fix that, we just get lots of water. And look how it pulls with me and smooths out those rough edges. And then we can pull from the stem so that it really looks like it's coming off of it. So then I'm going to come back over here, get more water, smooth out the edge of this side. Alright, so, excuse me, so I've pulled my leaf. Now I'm going to go to a little bit darker color. I'm going to pull down the middle line. Because if I look at my leaf, no, I don't have one on that one. So it's point, I have pretty much a line down the middle. So my painting teachers would always say, just paint what you see. And it sounds so easy. And it kind of is, but it's also kind of difficult. But just kind of look at your leaf shape. Mine has a couple lines going down. And so with that darker color, I'm just pulling that into my stem, so it's growing out of it. Okay. Then I might use that darker color right here on the edge of my stem and onto my leaf, just to really make it coming out of it. Back to the outer edge, pull. Alright, and so here's our completed flower. So once you've painted your watercolor flower, a neat idea is to just trim it up and put it in a little frame, and it's a sweet gift for a friend, your mom, whoever you might love. So thanks.